Hello and welcome to Middle-Aged Geek Girl. I'm Sally. For today's video, I have 3 cross-stitch kits that were kindly sent to me from VIPCrossStitch. So we'll check out what I've got. We'll start off with the Joy Sunday kit first. So as mentioned, this is a Joy Sunday kit and it's a 14 count, 9 by 13 centimeters. So it's going to be a wee little kit. And it's the last of the series of this sort of abstract animal. Now, I'm pretty sure this is the last one I had to get. I will confirm with my spreadsheet and database when I'm editing, and I'll put a little note up here to confirm that. But I know I've got the lion, which I've currently got in my whips, and I believe that I've already shown the fox, and I'm pretty sure this was the last one. But as I said, I will confirm or deny that in the editing process. But I knew I didn't have this one, so I picked it up. First of all, there's your chart. It's nice and big, printed A4 size, and it's very well detailed. You definitely can see what's going on with this one. And this is the only one in the series that has backstitch like around it to put in some detail. All the other ones are full stitch. Looking at it, there are 7 colors in total, with color number 1 being used as the back stitch. But that's the image there to show you a bit clearer. And I do like this one. It's really pretty sort of teals and blues. They've all got like their own color scheme. The fox is oranges and the lion is pinks. And here are your 7 colors. So as I said, really pretty colors. There's no black amongst it. It's more like the outlining is done by a grey, and that's like 1 shade off there. There is a little bit of white. That's white color, so there will be a little bit of white on white, but I think looking at the image is only going to be for a little tiny bit of the face, so I will do white on white in that situation. But here it is. How tiny. Look at how tiny this is. I can zoom you down. There we go. I can definitely do the L there on the whole canvas. It's so little. Wow, that's definitely one for holding in your hand as you're doing it. As I said, 7 colors. Not much stitching involved at all. Now I would say it would be a good one for beginners because there's really not much to it. A person who's really quick at cross stitch would get this done in an afternoon. Me, this probably still, when I do it, sit in my whips for months because I'm not that quick. But yeah, it is so tiny. I can't believe how tiny it is. That's awesome. And it's something that once you've stitched, you could use it if you want to make a gift card for a friend. You could definitely put this on the cover, or you could put it in a wee tiny frame. Really cute and small kit. And I know I said way too many reallys there, but I'm just trying to emphasize how cute and how tiny this canvas is. So that's a good one. And now, as I said, I would have already put up whether or not I have the whole set or not of or series of this one. I'm pretty sure I do, but yeah, I would have already put up in the text during editing whether or not I do. So I'll move this one aside and we'll go and check out the 2 non-branded. Now I do know one is, well, we'll look at the one that is actually branded Huacan first on the website, and it's this one. It's a sort of a Christmassy theme. So you've got your awesome little toolkit that you get with these sets. You've got your instructions on cross stitch printed, probably A5 size. That's all your thread, which we will look at in a moment, but this is what I'm looking for. Here is your chart, and yeah, it's if this doesn't come through well on the camera, I will put the actual picture up so you can see what the cross stitch canvas is, or the image is. As I said, this one is on VIPCrossStitch's website as a Huacan, and it probably, yeah, because it's got ABB, and I think if they do A and then a double letter like ACC, AEE, ABB is obviously another one, it means Huacan. And it's a 40 by 40 canvas, and this is your chart. Now it's a stained glass poinsettia, maybe, but it's a very Christmassy theme, and I'm pretty sure it is advertised as a Christmas sort of stained glass image. There's 35 colors in it in total. The chart looks printed really clearly. There's no issue with running ink or it being pulled off the printer too soon. And if you're a person a bit like me who finds that it's, you know, not cut straight, you can always cut around this blue line to make your chart beautifully straight. Yeah, they just cut it roughly, and I mean, it's no big deal. You can see everything. You've got all the information you need on there, but if it's just slightly annoying that it's not slightly perfect, you can fix that up yourself. It's 187 by 187 stitches, and everything needs to be stitched, obviously, on this one, and it's 14 count. So I think 35 colours, yeah, looks like it's going to get the message across, like it is going to show the image nicely. I think this one would work with 35 colors because, again, looking at the image itself, there is not that much color change, but there is like shading, so you do want a few colors for detail, not just all like solid teal, solid yellow, etc. And it looks like it is doing that when you look at the design on the chart. So happily with that one. As I have mentioned before with these charts, I mean, it would be nice if they were printed bigger. This is pretty much printed, I think, the same size as the canvas. If I just, slightly smaller actually than the canvas. There you go. So yeah, I would like these printed bigger, and if it needed to go over a couple of pages, that's all fine and good. Joy Sunday, do it like that. Spring, do it like that. But, you know, bigger to make it easier to read, but it is clear. I mean, the main thing here is that it is definitely printed without the running ink or any dramas like that. But we will look at the canvas next. And here it is. It just sort of fits into my frame there. And looking at it, it's really, actually a really pretty printed canvas. I had to say that slowly because my tongue was getting tied. I like the pale blue in the background. That's 310, so that's going to be black when it's done. But I mean, I like the fact it's more pastel tones on this one when they've actually printed the canvas. There's nothing so bright, because sometimes they use really bright oranges and really bright reds. I mean, that's a bright red, but the rest of it's nice and pastel and printed really clearly. Some of it you might, and this is why you need a chart that's really printed well, because if I just bring you up to that part there, like the little light blue X on the canvas itself might be a little bit hard to see if you weren't using good light source, but it is a little blue cross, and that's, again, as I say, why you need this printed out really clearly, and you can see it really distinctly on the chart. So if you needed to refer back to the chart, that's not going to be a drama at all. And as I said, 35 colors I think will do it. And even though it's a Christmas theme one with a little bit of red, there is no 666 in it, which is, you know, a little bit disappointing for me. But because I always like, most Christmas things have the colour 666 in them. This one does not. Let's look at the thread. So obviously it has a lot of 310 for the background. So you've got your extra bunch of that, oh sorry, extra 2 bunches of 310, being that most of that background where you would have seen the light blue on the canvas is all black. But 35 colours, and they look like a really pretty range of colours too. Sort of more earthy tones, I'd say. I'm just trying to straighten them out here before I show them on camera. So here we go. These colours 1 to 18. That's a really bright orange. It's probably the brightest of all of the colours there. I mean, that's almost fluorescent. That's offensively bright orange. It might be a bit more subtle on camera. So for you viewing at home, it's not probably as bright and hurt your eyes as it is in person. It's amazing. And that's a beautiful purple color. And here are colors 19 to 35. So nice greens and teals in there. But yeah, more of your earthy tones apart from that offensively bright orange. So yeah, nice color range, and it's on this card, which I love. So that's an extra bonus. So I'm pretty sure, well, if they're advertising it as a Huacan canvas, it looks quite good. I think this one will work out nicely with the color palette and the number of colors provided. So yeah, I think this one is going to be one of the better ones. Of course, being that it's only ever full stitch on these canvases, you're not going to get the full detail like you would if there were your fancy stitches and back stitch included, but yeah, I think it will work out nicely. So I'm going to pop this one away and we'll check out the other canvas. And here is the third and final canvas. I think this one is not Huacan. This one is no name brand because it's not advertised as having any brand on it on VIPCrossStitch. And I know if there is a brand associated, they will put it down on their website. So this one, you've got your awesome accessories as well, where you've got your lots of needles, your threader and your finger protector. You can already see on this one that the threads are on the individual cards, which I personally don't like. I know some of my viewers do like it because you can put it on metal rings or however you want to do it, but for me, I don't like that. That's a personal thing. But we'll check out, well, first of all, there's your image, and it's a rose stained glass pattern. And looks really nice. Now it's, as I said, 11 count. I think this one is also a 40 by 40 or 39 by 39, 147 by 147 stitches. Now on this one they've done a nice sort of A3-ish size printout of everything. So you've got a really nice big preview image so you know which kit you're looking at. You've got your cross stitch instructions, quite small there, but that's okay. You get so many of them. And you can also look up online, but that's readable. And you've got your chart here. Now the chart is printed really clearly. Again, just having that quick look to make sure that there's no smudging. There's definitely no smudging or running on this. It is printed really well. It's really easy to read. Again, having it like slightly bigger again would be nice, just to help people who might need bigger things to look at. But it seems to be printed quite readable. There's 30 colours in this one. Even though it's a beautiful red rose, there's no 666 in this one either. But you know, one must endure. I'll get over it. But it looks like there's going to be a fair bit of colour change, but 30 colours, yeah, it might work for this one. It's less colour than the 14 count one from Huacan. So yeah, this one might have to be sort of a do and see. I mean, it doesn't look like there's many colours when you look at the image, but there is shading. So on the original image, like it's not block colour, there is a lot of detail on that. So you may be losing some of it on this one. I think maybe 30 colours might not be enough. It may be enough. It's really a do and see. Looking at it, looking at the image, maybe not. Maybe another 5, 10 colours would have helped it out a bit. But you're not going to know till you do it. I mean, you can see what it is meant to be when you look at that to that. That's your rose. And that's your little roses there. But again, I'm sort of not seeing... Oh, that's probably going to be your little rosebud there. Yeah. It might work. It might work. It won't be as detailed as that, but it still might look presentable. We will look at the canvas. So a very busy looking canvas when I look at it through the camera viewfinder. So there is a lot of color change to it. It's printed clearly, you can see the symbols, but in this case, again, the chart is very helpful and easy to read so that if you do get a bit lost when you're looking at your canvas, you can follow the chart easily. That's not a problem, but yeah, it is printed. Like, again, there's no sort of smudging or areas of concern on the canvas itself. But this one is also stitched around the edges to prevent fraying. I didn't check the Huacan one. I should just have a quick look there. Yep, the Huacan one is also stitched around the edges to prevent fraying. So that's good that they're doing that as well. That helps out a lot. Being 11 count, it's of course you use 3 threads at a time. That's really hard to say together. 3 threads there. Use 3 threads at a time. And yeah, again, I'm not quite sure if the detail is going to come out in this one as good as if there was maybe 40 colors in it. It's a do and see. I don't think it's beyond redemption. Like, I don't think it's one of those canvases where you look at it and go, definitely not even going to try it. It looks like such a waste. This one, I'm not getting that vibe for it. I'm getting that it could be a bit better, but it might be all right too. And again, being 11 count, full stitch, these are the sort of canvases that would be good for beginners because it is all full stitch. You don't have to worry about doing all your weird fancy stuff. So pop that aside and we will look at the thread. And as I say, if you've got metal rings or something, or whatever you might want to attach these to, that might work well for you. For me, yeah, I'm just not a fan of it when they do it on these individual cards like this, but you know, everybody's a bit different. I'll shake it out and try and give you an idea of what the color scheme is like. And I mean, from a PR review stance, it doesn't make it easy for you to show the colors to the viewers. So that's one drawback of these cards as well. So just trying to see what we can see in there. You've got some nice teals there. You got a really bright green there. So you got greens. Oh, that's a nice color. What's that one? Yeah, 154. And see, this is another problem because that's ripped. As you can see, I didn't rip that. That came ripped. These just fall right off. Now, if you don't know your colors, you're going to be in a bit of a problem because you're not going to know what's that meant to be attached to. It's a good thing I have my tape here that I can tape that shut for now. But yeah, this is exactly another reason why I hate these individual cards, because easily to rip off the colors, especially when you're trying to show them like this. And they do get a bit tangled at the bottom, being one big wad of color, of thread I mean. So yeah, it's a bit of a problem. This one is going to be the same, almost ripped off, because obviously how they're being packaged is whatever colors needed is ripped off. I'd say a big line of all the same color, and if they're, well, there you go, if they're rough, that's open again. So that's going to be another one that if you did, it's 939, so it's a navy blue, but if you didn't know the color and it fell off, you're screwed basically, because they're not being careful when they tear them off the bigger ream of them. So yeah, really not a fan of these at all. I think I've expressed exactly how I feel about them. I'm not going through every single one to make sure they're all attached okay, but I think these are a problem, and that's why. I mean, I happen to know 154 and 939. They're common colors. It wasn't a problem. But for example, if this one had been ripped off, I would have no idea. None whatsoever. So yeah, very much against these individual cards. But I do love the color range on this. It's a nice sort of pinky color. So you got your sort of nice darker moody colors and then some really vibrant bright ones in there to give it a bit more life. So yeah, this kit's a bit hit and miss is what my feelings are. I think, as I said, it's not one I would write off and go, I'm not even going to be bothered to try it. I think it will get a nice result, not a perfect result when you stitch it. But yeah, these cards, just so not happy with them. So here they are, the 3 kits that were kindly sent to me from VIPCrossStitch. So a big thank you to VIPCrossStitch for these items. So a bit of a sort of a mixed bag. I'm really happy with that one. The Huacan one here also looks like it's going to be quite a decent kit, so that was a nice surprise. This one, again, I'm not writing it off completely. It may look quite good when it's done. It won't have the detail anywhere near what the image is, but it will still come across, I think, as what it is meant to be, a stained glass rose image. Printing wise and chart wise, no problems whatsoever. Floss wise, the floss is okay. I just, like I said, really hate these cards. As I showed, there was a couple that were ripped. If you didn't know that or pick that up earlier and just sort of pull out your thread, you're going to lose the card for what color it belongs to. And if you don't know your colors off by heart, which, I mean, I'm not sure there's many of us that do, there would be a number of people that know a fair chunk of the colors, but you know, I was lucky they were on two colors that I've seen a lot and know, being 939 navy blue and 154 a dark purple color. But yeah, that's a problem with these cards. So if they're not careful when they're packing, that is going to be a big issue. But I think everything else, like the production side of it, no problem there. And how detailed it's going to look, that's a matter of wait and see. But let me know down below in the comments what you thought of these kits. Any take your fancy? I love to hear from you and I always respond. And if you can't think of anything to say, just whack an emoji down there. That's engagement, and YouTube love engagement. And if you'd like to support my channel, please consider subscribing, hitting that like button and the notification bell. And if you're interested in supporting my channel further, I do have a Ko-fi and a Patreon account set up. The details are up here on screen. And for patrons, I do release one of my digital designs monthly at the beginning of each month. So whether it be a sort of PNG sticker design or a colouring page, for December, which will be when you see this video, it will be one of my Christmas card designs. So that's the sort of thing that you can get as well if you become a patron. But that will do it for this video. So everybody, no matter where you are, please stay safe, stay weird, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.